What's good, y'all? Welcome to another episode, and today we are talking about fun cars under 10K. All right, this list right here is for the young dudes that's coming up, that got a little bread saved up. They say, yo, I don't want to break the bank. You feel me? I want to cop something that's really cool, that's really fun, that maybe I could possibly tune and really burn a lot of people off the line because they don't know what I got under the hood. Okay, this is for y'all. It's also for people who just want maybe a second or third car to just have a project car and invest in. So if that's you, make sure you stay tuned for the whole video. But without further ado, bring it in. Let's talk about it. What's good, y'all? So you already know, before we get into this video, make sure you check out the website lowexcelsapparel.com. It is in the link in the description. It is also on the YouTube page. Get what you need. The weather is still cold outside. I still got hoodies for y'all. You feel me? It's still cold. I got hoodies for y'all. I got sweatshirts, t-shirts, beanies, all of the above. Whatever you need, I got you. And if that's what you need, guess what? Go to the website and cop it. Why are you wasting your own time? Support yourself, support the channel, and look good while you're doing it. You feel me? But enough about that. Let's get into this video. Number one, that would be a 2002 to 2006 Acura RSX Type S. This came equipped with a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine, 200 horsepower, 140 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60, what we talking? 6.2 seconds. So fun fact, 2005, specs were a little different. It did say that 215 horsepower. Don't mind that. Still the same speed, clocking it differently. Don't put too much thought into that. Anyway, this car right here, if you don't know, was a car that was definitely quick, handled definitely well above average for a priced car in this segment. Okay, this car was also a Need for Speed. You know me, I was definitely a young dude on Need for Speed, going crazy, tuning in modern cars. This is one of those cars that was on my list to make sure it was official, that was on point. Okay, this car looked good. It looked relatively expensive, or at least more expensive than it was. And especially if you get into today's society, in today's time, this is a car that's not common. A lot of people do not have it, but the people who do have it, they definitely spent money in it to make it look better, drive faster, things of that nature. When it came to reliability, this car is above average. All right. Now, if you are looking to tune, I would advise you to get the 02 to 04. All right, but if you just wanted something that's reliable, that you don't want to spend too much money on up front, then I would say go ahead and get you the 05, 06, the later years. Okay, but the 02, 04 has the K20A2 engine, which is definitely more tunable, friendly, and you'll be able to get more power out of that easier. Right, so keep that in mind. Issues that you may run into is transmission issues. Engine mounts tend to go out, the rear hatch seal, tail light gaskets, and door locks. So again, this is going to be an older car, so you definitely want to check in, make sure the person who had it took care of it. This is almost like a G35. It's a beta car. The people who do own this, they're going crazy with it. So if you're getting it from a second, third, fourth, fifth hand type of person who really didn't care about this car, or who really just ran it to no end without really keeping up with the maintenance and things of that nature, don't even get it. You feel me? Make sure you got the Carfax, and make sure you got somebody that actually took care of their car. But I digress. Let's move on. Number two, that would be a 2008 to 2013 Audi TT 2-liter turbo. This came equipped with a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine, 200 horsepower, 207 pound-feet of torque. But in 2011, they changed it. It came with 211 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60, what we talking? 5.3 seconds. So I know I'm gonna get a lot of people, yo, what happened? What about the 3.2? Mind you, the 3.2 was also a very good Audi TT as well. I actually liked it. And I had videos mentioning that 3.2 as well. Maybe not the TT, but the engine itself. The only thing is, a lot of people mention with this specific platform, the 2-liter turbo handled better with a front-wheel drive 2-liter engine than it did with a 3.2-liter Quattro, right? So keep that in mind. if you want the Quattro and you want to, put more power down and you want to be able to, drive the car in all seasons, definitely get the Quattro. And you can still get a Quattro 2-liter turbo or 3.2, so keep that in mind. But if you're looking to actually just really whip this car, tune it, make it as fast as possible, and it still kind of handle relatively well or like above average, then I would mention, go with the front wheel drive. The 2-liter turbo is where it's at. This also did have average reliability. Some people had worse, some people had better, but for me, as much as I've seen, I would put it right there in the middle with average reliability. But again, this is still going to be slightly older. All the cars on this list is going to be older, so problems that usually would not arise are probably going to arise. So just keep that in mind. You already getting the car for cheap up front, so keep something on the back end for you to put money into this, tune it, do whatever you need to do. Issues that you may run into is the timing chain, water pump, oil. It had high oil consumption in this car, and electrical issues. If you wanted a 3.2, that had terrible fuel economy as well, so just be mindful of that. The 2-liter turbo, easier to tune, easier to make more power out of. The 3.2 is just the car that you go for if you really don't want to spend too much money on the car. You just want something cool right when you cop it, you want to do your thing with it, so keep that in mind. But let's move on. Number 3, that would be a 2004 to 2011 Mazda RX-8 Grand Touring, or the R3. This came equipped with a 1.3 liter rotary engine, 238 horsepower, 164 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60, what we talking? 5.9 seconds. Yeah, I did it, y'all. I did it. Reliability has officially left the chat, okay? Now, I know a lot of y'all like, yo, why would you try to set us up and put us in an RX-8? Why you doing that? Me personally, I always love the look of this car, okay? Y'all may be different, but for me personally, I always liked the way this car looked. Another car that I used to drive around in Need for Speed and Midnight Club, all type of stuff like that. And I feel as though this car really, it didn't live up to the expectations, because the RX-7 that came before this was so legendary, even though it wasn't the most reliable car neither. This is one of those cars that's like, to me personally, a collector car, right? You're never gonna daily drive this car, and if you do try it, guess what? You might be on the side of the road looking crazy. But if you just got an extra money to put into something, and you're not gonna like go crazy and beat this car up like ridiculously, I think this could be relatively good for you, right? Now, mind you, the reliability is never gonna be great, ever. And it's a rotary engine, those are very complex when it comes to working on these cars. But if you can get past that, or let's say somebody whose just specialty is rotary engines, which isn't a lot, then I would say go ahead and take the risk on that. Cop this car, because again, it looked good, it's rare, but it is partially rare because nobody want to deal with it. But you can get this car all day under 10K. It looks good. You could even get decent examples as well, low mileage, everything, right? So definitely check the market for that if you're looking for something like that. Once again, reliability is below average. Issues that you may run into: apex seal wear, coil failure, engine flooding, carbon buildup, and very high fuel consumption as well. So this car was horrible on gas, terrible, especially for what it's worth. You would never expect that. So yeah, this car is definitely by no means the best car on this list or in general that you can get for $10,000 or under. But if this is just something that you've always wanted, it's a great time to get into it now. I mean, at least you're going to save money on the front end. So definitely check the market for that if that's what you're looking for. But let's move on. Number 4, that would be a 2000 to 2004 Porsche Boxster. This came equipped with a 2.7 liter H6, 217 horsepower, 192 pound-feet of torque. But in 2003, they raised it. Came equipped with 225 horsepower, 192 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60, what we talking? 5.7 seconds. So I believe I covered this on the video when I covered a lot of Porsches, right? Y'all may or may not have seen that video, but this is always going to be a car that everybody loves as far as handling goes, as far as just drivability goes, people have great experiences with these cars, and especially when they keep up with the maintenance. This car is one of the best driver's cars you can get, especially for the price. When it came to reliability, this was actually above average reliability. Now, mind you, in this price range, you might be able to find a few Porsche Boxster S's, right? But from what I've seen, there wasn't enough of them for me to recommend those to be under 10K, because most of them is slightly over 10K. But if you want an S, there is definitely a possibility that you can get an S for under 10K if you look hard enough. Issues that you may run into is the IMS bearing failure, oil separator leaks, and electrical issues. All right. So this could definitely be your first entry level into a Porsche, your first entry level into a manual driver's car, okay, that is not too expensive up front and is really not that crazy to maintain. Yeah, it's a Porsche, so when things go wrong, it will be costly. But if you know somebody that can handle these type of cars or works on these type of cars, you really won't have that big of an issue going forward. And again, this car is actually good when it comes to reliability, and it's just going to drive crazy. You're going to love every moment that you in it, and it's running 100%. So definitely check the market for those if you're a true driver and you're looking for a driver's car. But let's move on. Number 5, that would be a 2007 to 2011 Mercedes-Benz SL 550. This came equipped with a 5.5 liter V8, 382 horsepower, 391 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60, what we talking? 5.3 seconds. So this is Benz, y'all. Y'all already know when it comes to reliability, regardless of whatever it's going to be, it's going to cost. Believe it or not, this was average reliability. Now, mind you, y'all, this is a great car for the money. You're getting a lot of car for 10K when you check the market for these. This is a big V8 old school Benz, and of course you can get the facelifted version within this year frame where it looks a little more modern. Same engine, same specs, just looks a little different. This car right here is definitely going to be a car if you're looking for more of a grand touring car, a big cruiser car. You want to take long trips and just coast doing a buck legally, maybe somewhere on the Autobahn, all right? This is going to be the car for you. Now, mind you, reliability is not bad. Like I mentioned, it's average. But when it comes to maintenance, you're going to have a bag on you, okay? You're going to save that money up front, but best believe you better have money on the back end, because this car is going to cost, especially when you're dealing with the 550. Issues that may arise is the roof system, the ABC system, and electrical issues. So this is going to have a lot of electrical components on this car that's definitely going to need to be addressed when you purchase it or before you purchase it. And you're definitely going to want to make sure the person who had it before you addressed a lot of these issues, because there's going to be a decent amount of things that need to be checked on this car. Because if you don't, guess what? You're going to be coming back over here. Yo, man, I bought the car. What happened, bro? Nah, don't do that. You feel me? I'm letting you know right now. Make sure you check this car. Make sure you check the owner. And you definitely do your due diligence before you get this car. But if you do that, and it's a good example of one of these cars, you're not going to regret it. This is going to be a great car. Still luxurious. Still sporty. Still sounds good. Still is very fast. I mean, what more can you ask for? Okay? But if it was up to me, yo, I'm checking the market if that's what I'm looking for. So you should do the same. But that's my list, y'all. Top 5 fun cars under 10K. But you already know how I do. I always got to drop a bonus for you. And the bonus of the day would be, it's a rare one, y'all. It's a rare one. You may or may not be able to come across this. That is a 2000 to 2006 Jaguar S-Type R. This came equipped with a 4.2 liter V8, 400 horsepower, 413 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60, what we talking? 5.3 seconds. So this is the only 4-door car on this list. And it's a Jaguar, so you know maintenance costs. But believe it or not, when it came to reliability, it was average to above average reliability for this car. Now, this is going to be something, again, kind of similar to the buyer who wants that Mercedes. You want something that you can cruise in at very high speeds. That's something that sounds good. Something that's really luxurious, this is what you go for. Believe it or not, this car was governed to go 155 miles per hour, right? It was topped out at 155, but you can tune this to go over 200 miles per hour, y'all. All right, so this is a car you can do 200 in if you just, take that governor off and do what you need to do. You feel me? That's different. Now, of course, we don't recommend you to do that on no public roads or highways, but if you can take this place to a track, a straight run, you can get this car everything it got. You feel me? And it's going to be worth it because you're going to be like, man, it's different. Mind you, when it came to issues, this car did have transmission problems, so you want to just check that, make sure that's cool. Coolant leaks, ignition coils, right? Those would go out. This potentially could get rust, and it also did have electrical issues. Yeah, not the best, not the worst, but you really do have to 100% get a good example. The same goes for the Mercedes, right? You get a great example for one of these cars, someone who really purchased this car to take care of it, to have it, and not really go crazy on it, but more so babied it, didn't have it sitting outside to collect rust or sitting outside to, get caught up in the elements and things of that nature. If they didn't do that and this car was really garage kept and they kept up with maintenance, this will be a perfect example for you to jump in for under 10K. You're going to love every second that you win this car. Nobody's going to have it on the road. And as long as you keep up with your maintenance and make sure that these issues were addressed before you jump in it, you're going to love your choice. You're going to love the decision that you made. And you're going to be whipping this all day, every day with no issues. But that's my list, y'all. If it was up to me, what would I go with? I'm going to have to step out with that Benz, that SL 550. But if I'm not stepping out in that, I might have to just go ahead and cop that Porsche box, though, okay? Because I like Porsche. I mean, it is what it is. But I ain't sleep on that S-Type neither, okay? So that's my list, y'all. Y'all get in the comment section below. Let me know what you would go with. And, of course, if you're looking to tune your car, you're looking to mod it, make sure you check the link in my description. I got discounts for you on any part that you need, and I can get it shipped to you in a timely manner. So make sure you check that out. Get what you need, tune your car, work on your car, and make it better than what it was before you even dealt with it, before you even checked the link. You feel me? Make sure your car is on point and it's running good at all times. But just like that, y'all, that's the video today. If you like it, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe, and just like that, I'm out of here. Peace.